Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. This is Engineer Masood Akhtarkiani, and today we have the technical session number 115. Our material is Geogrid. So we will discuss about this material, which is the Geogrid, and what is its function, and what's the main use in the civil engineering, and how to utilize this material. So we will discuss about that. Uh, so what is the Geogrid? Geogrid is a material, is a polymer material made of many polymers like polyethylene, polyvinyl, alcohol, polypropylene, etc. It is the most important innovation in geosynthesis, which is used as a reinforce the material mostly in the soil where the strata is very weak. We can discuss about that. The formally by joining the resetting the reefs and the large open spaces where the soil is very weak and the load is supposed to be come over there, then this material is used. So, what is the manufacturer? The geogrids. It is the geogrids are commercially carried out by the uh, three ways are to be explained by extrusion also, by weaving and knotting methods, and also by welding of the extrusion, etc. By extrusion, this is the method of polymeric sheet, and the material is used in the geogrid by extrusion, and the holes and are designed as per the dimension and the requirement of area according to the site situation whatsoever. It can be designed and it can be extruded in order to receive the geogrid sheets as required design. The strengthening is a most important is the tensile factor, which is also is very strong in this material also. Then another one is the weaving or the knotting. This is also a synthetic process of the same significant of the geogrid materials is also depend upon the design and the site situation where it's required, and it can be also knotted as a required shape. Uh, there are another geogrids also types which have the height intensity and the welding and the extrusion also. This method is similar to the extrusion by difference in the only the difference in the extrusion and the ribs is carried over by passing through the rollers, but the material are the same. And then the recent and the welding from the operators, and it is also automatic machine can make this material according to the requirement of the site situation. So type of the geogrids also it can be classified into two types based on the stress transfer or the direction by strengthening during the manufacturing as the type of the geogrid based on a pattern uniaxial geogrid. It is also strengthened only to the longitudinal direction. Thus, the stress is transferred only along the axis, where the tensile is the more longitudinal direction, where its transfer direction to the uniaxial geogrid. Then biaxial geogrid, it is also strengthened along with the two direction longitudinal and the transverse. Thus, the strength is equally to distributed in the both directions in the biaxial geogrid, and the longitudinal direction is called the by the machine direction MD, and the transverse direction is cross machine also CMD. Uh, this is also the vice versa procedure of the machine direction. Since the strength is the equal and the both axes of the geogrids are mostly preferred in the construction. Uh, Triaxial geogrids are also available. Uh, This I will show you this one. Uh, these shapes, and these shapes, and this also. This is a geogrid also showing the strengthen in the soil where the load bearing strata is required. So uh, there are the types of the geogrid based on the manufacturing. Geogrid is another classified based on the geogrid have another method which is the extrusion woven and the bonded geogrids. Bonded also working the interlocking and the granular of the fines materials uh, placed in a machine. The aperture and also strike through the cover the soil materials and also the interlocks and then the ribs and the flat strengthened bars also is reinforcing with the uh, soil material due to the stiffness as this one. And also this is the shape. Also this is in the slope direction. Uh, this is also strengthened to the soil where the soil is compaction and the heavy embankment or ramps are going to be constructed. Then this shape, uh, the soil is strengthened by the reinforcing by these types of geogrids according to the uh, specified design parameters. So the geogrid and the interlockings, the granular material have the physical properties, and the biaxial geogrid also the physical properties, which is we can say tensile at 2% strain is the 14 kilonewton. Tensile at 5% strain is 28 kilonewton per meter square. Uh, Maximum tensile strength is equal to 40 kilonewton, and elongation nominal value is 10 to 11. And also, these are the main parameters once the extrusion and the material is constructed according to the manufacture, according to the relevant standard. So, the geogrid earlier days, it was also used for the construction to retaining walls also, and it is found very adaptable and the remaining walls retaining walls also because the is high flexible and the nature and also load bearing should be there and to resist the earthquake and the other natural disaster uh, then reduce and to compare with the conventional concrete and the other walls. So this is a very strong reinforcing in the soil where the geogrids also stand for a long time. The advantage of geogrid in retaining wall result in the further use of the geogrid. It may be strengthened into the pavements, dams, and also suitable properties, structures, loads, and also the high tensile bearing capacity for the environmental friendly properties. This is also the geogrid also pavement. Also, it can be stabilized in the railway tracks also, which is very high intensity, which require the heavy load also and the vibration also. That is also strengthened by geogriders. That's data. So research is being carried out to check the compactability out of the geogrids in the concrete pavements, and it can be increase the durability of the geogrids when its high flexural strength obtained from the combined with the concrete. Construction embankments in high railways and the stabilization of the soil and its bearing strength also very high. The water table, if either it is high or uh, more than the required limits, then it can be also feasible for the for that area. The use of the geogrid is more conventional in the construction, and it is the environmental friendly also. And importing geogrids makes the membranes the durable since the environmental attacks. Also, it prevents the soil from the erosion, which is the main function of the geogrids. And geogrid to ensure that the construction is a place techniques and the simple, thus the application of in the beneficial stages. The result of the sustainable development construction industry, the geogrid also is required in so many construction phases where the uh, airfield also marine application also, and also the retaining wall where the pavement and where the water consumption is more, and it can be filtered by the some gravel material oversize according to the geogrid particle distribution size. So this depend upon the design oriented parameters. So this was the material of the geogrid which is used for the reinforcing in the soil and to protect the erosion of the soil and to protect the landsliding where the water table is very high, and also other construction purposes. So in next video, we will see each other with another subject. So thank you very much and have a nice day.